The following video is brought to you by the guys at the Wrecking and Racing Podcast, a NASCAR podcast made by the fans for the fans. Check them out at www.wreckingandracing.com, facebook.com/wreckingandracing, and Twitter @wreckingandracing. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season, the 2019 mod. And we are at the half-mile bull ring of Bristol on the outside behind Paul Menard here, and we're about ready to get the green flag going. It's a very quick turnaround here, and green flag is out. We'll try to get to the bottom. The bottom is still the fastest way around on this modded track. It's the 2012 version of Bristol, but very fast, very cool, and we'll see how we can do today. We just came off that win in Texas, so another win would be right up our alley. However, it looks like we've got some work to do. Brandon had a better qualifying than we did. He's up there in about 5th or 6th place in that wreckingandracing.com Toyota, and we'll see if we can work our way up forward. We've got 3-wide battle behind us, one of the RCR cars right there beside Ryan Newman and the 32. That could be Austin Dillon. Nope, that was Hemrick, because Dillon is up there on the high lane. 50 laps here, a very quick race for sure. 50 laps goes by in a blink, and we do not have to pit for fuel, but tires may be a whole nother ball of wax, especially if we have to use up all of our tires here to get toward the front. It's a rolling roadblock. Jimmy Johnson in front of us can't get around the 38, and the 38 can't get around Eric Jones, and there's a gap between Jones and Chase Elliott, but he's not really closing that gap very much. We've got Blaney to our outside. You can just see how de-wedged Jimmy Johnson is going into the turns. It's going to be a slugfest to get forward, that is for sure. We need these guys in front of us to single file out or get to the high lane. We might be able to pass him there. It looks like Jimmy is clear to the top, so we can push Jimmy Johnson high up. Nope, he's going to be under Clint Boyer. We'll look to the outside and think better of it. I mean, there's really nowhere for us to go, high or low. You can see the leaders have just broken away, single file. They're actually going to be catching up to the back of the field fairly quickly. In Bristol and Martinsville, you get the conveyor belt going pretty early, especially when the back markers, ourselves included, are running, double file, and we can't get the drive off the corner because we would slide up right into that car on our outside, which is Clint Boyer for now. We've got Paul Menard right on our back bumper, really fighting to root us out of the way. We just need to move forward, and it looks like Austin is making his way around Kyle Busch. Eric Jones might be able to get around Kyle as well. In front of us, though, they're sort of gapping out. So the bigger gaps that they have in between each other, the better for us. We can start getting good drives off and start clicking off some faster lap. Let's get under Hamlin here. Hopefully Jimmy can get around him. He's on the struggle bus really well. Menard drops back. The AI really drive into the corners deep. Much deeper than I do, so it's not uncommon to see someone on our back bumper, but we are now clear, single file. We'll catch this pack in front of us really quickly. Looks like, who do we got up there? Was that Harvick? I really couldn't see who's leading this little pack. But we've got Ricky Stenhouse and Harvick, yes, leading this little group, and they are 2x2, which means everyone's going to catch up to him and still be 2x2 behind him. Looks like Bubba Wallace is having a good run up here in front of us, possibly a top 15 run. So good on Bubba. He hasn't had a solid year this year as of yet. Of course, with this playoff format, if we go to a plate track and Bubba takes the win, he can vault himself into the top 16 very easily. Oh, we pushed up just a little bit. Menard is going to have a look and force us around, push us down the back straightaway. Slam the wall on the inside just a bit. That's going to bring out the caution. We're going to lose all of these spots and essentially be the last car running. So we'll definitely take tires. Or if the tires really weren't scuffed up that bad, we might be able to stay out. We'll see what everyone else does. We're going to do the opposite. And holy crap, Daniel Suarez was on a flyer. I don't know what that's all about. Yeah, we're being passed by more people than we rightfully should. I think those are the leaders. Yeah, we're going to have to get around these guys, I believe. We'll get everyone back up as they should be. Yeah, we got Almirola there leading into the 33 a little bit because he's... Why are we stopping? Okay, there's Brandon. He made a pass on us. Okay, I guess we're going to go around Brandon here because we shouldn't be a lap down. We took the caution in front of the leaders, so looks like Brandon will be out front. Everyone else is deciding to pit. Tell you what, we probably ought to stay out. I'm going to go around. Yeah, we're not being told to let him by. So I guess we'll get relined back up and figure our life out here. We've got all of those cars on pit road that have pitted. And since we weren't exactly in a place to capitalize, we might as well stay out. I'm not entirely sure exactly what's going on, but I think we'll line up here and we will stay out. So I will go ahead and fast forward and see you for the restart. Pace car heading off the track, and we will be restarting in third place. So not too awful bad staying out on these old tires. And a lot of cars are a lap down. Brandon has cleared them, and he should be setting sail. We'll have to get around the 34. He's still for position. Michael McDowell. All those cars to the inside are going to be a lap down and not for position. So I'm pretty happy with where we are. I think this was a product of NASCAR racing not lining people up where they need to be. It's kind of like a short track bug, really, where people get put a lap down that don't need to be. We'll be able to clear Stenhouse off the corner very easily. And now that we're not in a massive hornet's nest, we might actually have something for him. Brandon lets the 21 go. We know how aggressive Paul Menard is, so he'll be back on the lead lap. We'll still be in third. It looks like Ryan Newman may be the first car one lap down here. We'll look under him and see if Michael McDowell can put his foot down. Yep, McDowell can clear Newman. We sort of got into Newman just a little bit there. He kept it going straight. I'm sure he wouldn't be happy with us in real life, but that wasn't for position. Move out of the way, man. All right, so I'm pretty sure we're past halfway. Laps are still going to continue to click by very quick. I think we can pass the 34 fairly easy. Being back in the pack, I don't think we really pushed our tires too awful much, so we might actually be better off than most of these guys, especially since most of them are going to be side by side and not... Whoa, Brandon, a little loose in front of us. They'll be running side by side and they won't be able to go as fast as we are. So being out front, you could say clean air, but it's not really clean air, but it's more of the fact that we can go whoop, a little sideways and not be beside anybody. We just need to clear McDowell. That is our hope and goal. He really drives it into turn one, really packs it in on the high lane. He gets a drive off of the turn, so we need to get him going into the turns and hopefully center off. That was a better series, and there we go. We'll be solidly in second. And even Newman trying to make a pass on him, that second place on the high line on the outside of lap cars. So this is for the race here. Whoa, a little loose. We're pushing hard now, trying to stay within reach of Brandon. And Brandon wiggled just a bit. You saw the scrapes come from underneath the car. He bottomed out a bit. And this particular setup that we're running likes to bottom out the splitter. And once that splitter hits the pavement, you just shoot up the track, which you saw there. So we should be able to capitalize on that if Brandon doesn't adjust his driving style. It's just a factor of him driving so hard. You can see him there loose, of him driving so hard into the corners that he's bottoming out, and his tires are not getting the grip that they need to keep him going. So if we stay within a few car lengths, we'll be able to capitalize if he washes up. But we need to find something here. Laps are winding down very quickly. We're sort of maintaining pace. I need to find something a little better than what Brandon's got. And I can see in turn 3 and 4, he's really scraping. He gained a little bit on us right there. He's better in, well, he's scraping in 1 and 2 as well. I'm surprised he has anything left of that splitter. All right, since we're pushing so bad, I'm going to adjust my line. I'm going to drive deeper into the corner and sort of diamond it. So I really have to tug the wheel only once and can drive straight out. And we'll see what that does. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's going to work. That is going to work indeed. And it looked like turn 3 and 4 is where I can really make that happen. Driving hard, just keep the foot in it. We'll try it again. Yeah, I couldn't get down to the apex as close that time. Let's attack the corner just a little bit more. And we can't touch the apron. When we touch the apron, we wash out. We have to maintain that white line without going over. It's like the Price is Right. We have to go as close as we can without going over. Sort of maintained there. Here's a good diamond. There we go. Good pivot off. Looks like we closed up just a little bit. We bottomed out just a bit, but it sort of helped our car turn. I can see where Brandon is gaining the speed if his car is doing something very similar. There's another diamond. We come off the corner well. And it's just tense. I mean, it's just a fraction of a second. He has a better 1 and 2, that is for sure. We almost can't see him in the turn anymore. That was a little bit better, Diamond. Really loose off. We can't afford to be doing that. Sort of on the high lane. What would really help is if Brandon himself slows up just a little bit. If Brandon slows down a tenth and we gain a tenth each lap, we'll be able to rail him back in. That was a good corner exit because we saw the rev chip. We were almost on the chip, so we need to keep doing that for straightaway speed. You can see we've caught up a fair bit, a car length or 2, over the course of a half mile. There's a really good pivot. There we go. That's the kind of thing we need to do. Let's keep that up. And we're catching lap traffic. So it's almost the inverse of what usually happens, where I'm in the lead and catch a bad lap car and Brandon capitalizes. So we're here. We're on the chip again. We had an amazing turn 3 and 4. We sort of overdrove turn 1 and 2 there. But this is where we make our hay, right here. Dive in deep, cut it, and get on the gas. There we go, just a scant few laps to go, and we are going to be there. Yeah, we're right here now. One more lap, and I think we can get to his back bumper. 1 or 2. He drives it in hard. We need to make him start looking in the mirror. There's an excellent diamond. We're here. Let's go, let's go. Good diamond. And yellow. No! And the race is going to end under yellow. It was just that close. I think one more lap and we could have got him, but this race is going to finish under yellow. Thank you so much, 97. Tanner Berryhill, who can't even get around the pace car, figure his life out. There's the white flag, 1 lap to go. And this is how it's going to end, ladies and gentlemen. So, really anticlimactic. If this was, modern rules, we'd have a green-white checker to settle it. And all of those lap cars would drop to the back, and it would be a pretty interesting shootout. But back in 2002, when this game was coded, the race is over. And all of these fans, they go home seeing a race that ends like this. Racing purists, they'll say a race length is a certain length, no more, no less. And 50 laps is it. And we're coming across to complete lap 50. So that is going to be win number 4 for Brandon. But how about us running in second, coming from nearly dead last and being pushed down the front straightaway to, you know, finish pretty well. So let's see our top 10 here. So Brandon was your winner. I was in second. In third place was Kurt Busch. In fourth place was Eric Almirola. Fifth place, Alex Bowman. Sixth place, Austin Dillon. Seventh place, Bubba Wallace. Nice. That's his first top 10 of the year. Eighth place for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ninth place for Kyle Busch. 10th place for Clint Boyer. And let's see what caused that last lap crash with Tanner Berryhill. It was Ricky Stenhouse. Because of course it was. All right, so he goes under the 33. There's Stenhouse. He does leave a gap. Ricky fills the gap, doesn't lay off on him, much like Paul Menard. And around Berryhill went. And that pretty much handed Brandon the win. Let's see visually. When we go to TV1, do we get a good angle? Or how about TV2? No. TV1 or maybe even the spectators a better wide angle here. Nope, it's going to be garbage. I want to sort of see lap by lap chew into him here. So we were tracking him down. We were fairly close at lap, 31. And then he sort of gapped us a bit. He got further and further out. Then we started reeling him back in around lap 45. And by lap 47, we were pretty much right there. Coming off the corner sideways, we were going to be right there had that yellow not come out. Our right side was all used up, and there was Berryhill down towards the bottom and out of the way, and that was the race. But let's take a look at the standings as they are. Brandon with his 4th win of the year. Us with 3. Eric Almirola still has 1. Kyle Busch is your cutoff driver. Only 14 points back to Newman and 13 points up to Byron. So half a field. If you wanted to say who is locked in at this point, everyone from, let's say, Jimmy Johnson up is locked in for the next race. But everyone from Eric Jones down to Newman, if Jones gets 1 point and Ryan Newman finishes second, I mean, that's going to be a massive swing. So still pretty much anybody's race, but we continue our short track swing next week at Richmond. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for the next NASCAR Racing 2003 season video. Take care.